So our last episode aired before the tragedy that happened this past Easter. And so we wanted to take some time to reflect on what happened. We want to talk about what's going on with violence in our communities in general and what are the next steps that we can take. So we have a very special guest on the program right now. He's a activist. He's running for city council, and he's one of the people that you can definitely see is out about the community's business and is really out here doing the work. Basheer Jones, welcome to the program, sir. How are you doing?
Thank you so much, man. I truly appreciate the opportunity to be here with you all. Thank you so much for the invitation.
All right, let's just start from here. Take us back to last week. When you saw everything that was going on, what were your feelings? What were your thoughts? How were you processing the events of this past weekend?
Well, man, I was actually watching the game. I was sitting down. I was watching the game, Portland versus Golden State, and my phone just kept buzzing. A lot of people were tagging me on stuff, and I had no idea what was going on. So then I seen this video where a guy was talking. It happened to be Stevie, and it was just a video of him just talking. And I said, "Well, no, this is nothing," you know. But then I watched the other video with him walking up to our spiritual grandfather, Mr. Godwin, and I just jumped out of my seat. I couldn't believe it, man. I jumped out of my seat, and I immediately ran to the car, and they said he was on 105. And, I immediately called, my brotherhood, and we immediately just began to go around and start searching for this guy. And not only that, but we also began to just tell people to get off the street. Get off the street, go home. That was the focus.
So I saw a video that you posted on Facebook a few days ago, and some of the sentiments that you had shared were some things that were very similar to something I had said. I was actually in the studio, which is 15 minutes basically away from where the shooting occurred at the time, and it was very hard to get any information about what was going on because the local networks took, I believe it was like up to 2 hours until someone broke into their regular programming.
You're being nice. You're being nice in that time frame, to be honest.
So talk about that. I mean, I feel like that was very frustrating because this is part of the community that they serve, and I feel like there were, I'm not trying to step on anybody's toes, but there was a lot of people that did us a disservice on that day.
Without a doubt, man. I know you said you don't like stepping on toes, man, but there's some toes that need to be stepped on
Right.
because sometimes people are just asleep.
Right.
And I did a start doing a Facebook Live video, and I was just driving around, and then I had about 1,000 people just listening in on Facebook Live, and I'm telling you on the radio, and all you hear is music and Kodak. I'm like, man, I don't want to hear this guy right now.
Right.
I don't want to hear him all the time, but I definitely don't want to hear him right now. Like, this is a time when the radio and all media begins to talk about what's happening before local media. So I immediately start going off. I got so many phone calls from Channel 19 and Channel 3 and Channel 5 and Radio 1 just saying, Basheer, man, why are you talking about us? And but it forced them to begin to talk about it, and if that's what we got to do to get people to do what they're supposed to do, then so be it. But the problem is that there's a disconnect when it comes to our community. Now, let's be honest. If this were to happen in Cleveland Heights or South Euclid, not even Cleveland Heights, Cleveland Heights, South Euclid, and for your international and national audience, that's like the suburbs. That's like the Jewish community. If it would have happened out there, man, it would have, brother, they would have locked they would have locked Northeast Ohio down, brother. There's no way he would have even got to Erie, PA. But that's how they treat black people. That's how they treat poor people. You know, look at the Amber Alerts. You know, we don't ever get no Amber Alert. You know, so I've been talking to the media about what is the emergency plan when it comes to these type of things. And many of them, you know, begin to fumble with their words when I ask this question.
Yeah, that actually goes into the next thing I wanted to discuss with you. And I don't know, it seems like we may be having a little bit of a connection issue, or there may be something maybe a little bit too far from your microphone on your telephone. So if you could speak up a little bit, that would I want to make sure that everybody hears clearly what you have to say. You talked about what was the emergency plan. What were the answers that you got from the radio and television stations when you asked that question?
Well, many people begin to fumble at their words. You know, many people begin to fumble with their words, man. And that's the reality. The reality is there is no true emergency plan in our city of Cleveland, and with local media when it comes to poor people. There is no plan for us, and that's a problem. That's a major problem. So, you know, we have a lot of meetings that are planned and sitting down and talking with people, but we can do a whole tribute to Prince, and we love Prince. Don't get me wrong, we love Prince, man. We love Purple Rain. Don't get me wrong, but brother, we could do a full tribute to Prince and to Michael Jackson, or to Biggie Smalls, or to whoever. And we can shut the radio down for that. But we don't have a plan for if a child is snatched like Elisa DeFree, or we don't have a plan to put in place to alert the community that there's an active shooter. You know, these are questions that we have to ask, and we have to get the answers to.
Right, absolutely. We're talking with Basheer Jones, and I know you have a question.
It's almost like, you know, when everybody's phones go off when there's an Amber Alert for a child. Why can't it be something like that if we got an active shooter? Like, that should be put out there. I mean, I know they put an emphasis on children, but that's just as important. Like, a man was just killed. Like, how do we know what he was going to do next? Like, y'all not taking it serious, but yet the national media, CNN, y'all are broadcasting it, but, you know, our local news channels didn't want nothing to do with it, I guess.
Exactly. I want people to really ask a very serious question. If Stevie was really about slaughtering more people, brother, he could have killed 100 people before they caught him, brother. He could have killed more. If he was really about that, he could have killed a lot of people, man. You know? And maybe he would have got caught faster, right? But the fact is that we're not prepared for these type of things. And I think that we have to become more proactive for sure.
Well, and it's crazy. Like, me personally, I normally don't put this out there on the radio, but I work at Jack Cleveland Casino, and I've come across Stevie many times. Like, we've talked on several occasions, and so everybody was on high alert that night. Like, they had it on lock. You know, they had one of the entrances were blocked off. Like, it was just crazy. They were expecting him to come in the casino. So it's just like, if the casino can kind of be on high alert and be ready, why wasn't everything else kind of put out there and, you know, preparing like the casino was?
That's a great point, brother. And we just got word that the brother, and he's still our brother. I mean, the fact is that many of us are suffering from some form of depression, and a lot of us are on the edge, and he just snapped. And the fact is that we got word that before he went to that McDonald's, he went to a casino, you know, and I could just imagine that people were so in tune to what they were doing, they didn't even see him.
Wow.
But but people are dealing with serious issues, man, and I'm one of them. We all are dealing with some type of issue. And if you're black, you're dealing with post-traumatic slave syndrome, brother. We all are dealing with something. And the stress of seeing black bodies being killed. Brother, when people go off to war, you know that the VA hospital is in place for veterans who go off to war and see the death of women and children and men. They got to get mental help. They got to get therapy. Imagine what it's doing to us to see the death of Mike Brown, to see the death of Trayvon Martin, the murder of these people, to see the murder of Tamir Rice.
Absolutely.
The trauma that that's causing us, brother.
Right. Absolutely. And we're talking with Basheer Jones, and I don't want to keep you too much longer. I know that you're busy, but I would be remiss if before we let you go, I wanted to put on the table here what should be the next action steps for our community. Clearly, there was, something very, very wrong that happened. There was a support system that completely collapsed around this young man. What can we as a community do to do the best that we can to try to make sure that this doesn't happen again?
Well, first and foremost, let me say this, man. I thank you all for what you all are doing. What you all are doing is huge. I thank you for allowing me to be on and to speak my piece. And I always want to give solutions. But before you can give solutions, sometimes people got to get angry before they do anything.
Right.
And the problem is that in our community, we don't get angry enough. And we should be angry. We shouldn't stop with anger, but we should be angry at the fact that black bodies is being destroyed. But even before the physical death, we are being attacked every day mentally and spiritually, man. So number one, our first solution to everybody out there is that you got to get back to God. You have to get back to your source of energy, right? When you got your cell phone with you, you always keep you always keep your charger, and if you don't, when your phone dies, it becomes a bad day for you. Why? Because you feel disconnected from the messages that's trying to reach you. Well, God sends us messages every single day. But if we're not connected to the source of all energy, then we're not receiving those messages. And we don't receive those messages, then that spiritual GPS inside of us cannot give us the right direction that we're supposed to go. So you got to get connected to your source. And once you get connected there, then you get connected to your purpose and to your purpose, but your passions is a tool to fulfill your purpose. So that's number one. And when you connected to that source, then you become spiritually aware of the attacks and the illusions. See, when you're not spiritually aware, then the illusions seem like reality. When you're just walking and talking and thinking that the video game is real, but it's not real. It's just a game. But when you connected to the source, then what happens is you're able to see illusions and see truth for truth and see falsehood for falsehood. And then your spiritual GPS can guide you along the way so you're not taking illusions for reality. This is extremely important. And then the next step is this. Once we have that connection and once we have that direction, then understand, don't be afraid to step on toes. Don't be afraid to move forward. Because if we are afraid to do that, we are letting down not only our ancestors, but we are also letting down future generations. Because nobody grows, and no justice will ever come if we allow fear to stop us. And let me say this, because we all are afraid of something. We all have some fear. I'm the first to say it. But not allowing the fear to stop us from moving forward. Always move forward. Always move onward and upward, no matter what the opposition is. The samurai quote that said, if you find me in a battlefield, you'll find me with arrows in my forehead and not in my back. So as men first, I'm sorry, sister, excuse me for a second. As men, we have to lead our families, and we have to lead our communities, and we have to move forward in our community and not allow fear to make us stay home. Because our women will never respect us if we can't protect them. If we can't protect them, brother, they'll never respect us. And if our women don't respect us, then probably our children don't respect us. And the first key to destroy the family is to destroy the man. And once you destroy the man, you remove the protection from the family. So, God, your purpose, family, and then the community. Socrates said that when I was younger, I wanted to change the world, but when I became wiser, I wanted to change the galaxy within. So God, change yourself, uplift your family, and then uplift the community. And if you are connected to the source, you don't need advice from nobody. God will guide you, and he will bring the right creation to you who will give you the guidance that you need. And that's it, man.
Absolutely, absolutely. Let everybody know how to get in contact with you on social media. We also know that you're running for city council, so your city council website and all that good stuff as well.
You can reach me on Instagram, Basheer J, BASHEERJ. You can also reach me on email, BasheerSpeaks@yahoo.com. I am running for city council in the ward that I grew up in. I went to elementary school, middle school, high school, went off to Morehouse College, graduated with honors, and went to Howard University for graduate school, and came back to the city that made me who I am. And I didn't have a lot of good memories. I had a lot of harsh memories growing up here, but it was the pain that created my purpose. And that's why I'm back here, because our people are being abused in City Hall. So it's time, it comes a time when words aren't enough, but policies have to be restructured so that our people can get what they need. So I thank you all so much, man. May God bless you and protect you and guide you all to continue to keep up this great work.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. We really appreciate you spending some time with us and sharing your thoughts on everything. Thank you.
No worries, man. Peace and blessings.
All right.